For over a century, the hierarchy of automotive luxury was protected by a very specific form of insulation, brand heritage, and the massive, complex combustion engines that defined Western engineering. A sprawling hood and a European badge signaled a monopoly on prestige. For decades, these symbols defined the peak of the global market, representing a level of status that few believed could be replicated elsewhere. That monopoly faced a direct challenge at Auto China 2026. Zeekr, a premium brand under the Geely umbrella, arrived with a hardware and software stack designed to compete directly with the historical elite. The most significant validation of this shift appeared at the Mansory booth. Mansory, the German aftermarket specialist famous for its work on Rolls-Royces and Bentleys, unveiled a wide-body Zeekr 9X with aggressive carbon fiber styling and rear-hinged suicide doors. This marks a rare occasion where a premier European tuner, a gatekeeper of ultra-luxury aesthetics, has granted a Chinese platform the same level of attention usually reserved for the world's most expensive heritage brands. In this new environment, historical pedigree is losing its power as a defensive shield. The market's primary focus is shifting towards the capabilities of the underlying technology. Zeekr is approaching performance as a commodity. They've integrated a 1,400 horsepower tri-motor setup into a massive 3-ton family SUV, providing hypercar levels of acceleration to a standard consumer segment. Their hybrid system operates as a mobile power plant. A 2.0-liter turbocharged engine functions as an onboard generator, constantly replenishing a 70 kilowatt-hour battery to ensure that extreme power is always available, regardless of charging infrastructure. This efficiency is made possible by a 900-volt architecture. Higher voltage moves massive energy through thinner cables with less heat loss than standard 400-volt systems. This foundation enables a 6C charging rate, charging from 10 to 80% in exactly 9 minutes, matching traditional refueling. By combining over 800 miles of total range with massive output, Zeekr has turned raw speed and long-distance capability into basic requirements, rather than exclusive luxuries. Now that extreme performance is widely available, the competition for the high-end market is moving into the cabin. Zeekr is prioritizing what they call sensory luxury. The interior is built around a high-performance computing core that manages a 2120-watt name audio system and a suite of high-definition OLED displays. This hardware supports a 5D theater mode. The system syncs the seat's haptic vibrations, ambient lighting, and climate control sense to the action on the interior screens, creating a fully immersive environment. Beneath the surface, the AI-driven digital chassis works to preserve passenger comfort. It anticipates high-speed cornering forces in 0.2 seconds, automatically adjusting the active stabilizer bars to keep the cabin flat and prevent motion sickness. These physiological features create an environment that legacy brands, reliant primarily on leather and wood craftsmanship, are currently struggling to match. Deploying this much technology at a global scale requires a fundamental shift in how vehicles are physically put together. Geely and Zeekr are utilizing a 7,200-ton gigacasting process. Instead of assembling a frame from hundreds of small parts, a massive hydraulic press stamps entire sections of the chassis in a single action. Casting the entire rear chassis as a single aluminum piece eliminates hundreds of traditional welds and joints that would otherwise be potential points of failure or noise. This one-piece construction results in a much more rigid structure. It improves cabin quietness by removing the vibration of smaller parts and provides a significantly stronger protective cage for the battery pack. Many Western factories still rely on these legacy assembly methods, using multi-part gluing and screwing processes that are slower and more labor-intensive. Gigacasting acts as a structural and financial filter. Manufacturers that continue to rely on older production lines may struggle to match both the safety standards and the profit margins enabled by this new scale of automation. These technological advantages are being used as the foundation for a coordinated international expansion. Zeekr is targeting specific high-value regions. They are establishing operations in Germany to challenge established premium brands, capturing a significant share of the Middle Eastern market, and building a 25 dealership network in Mexico. There is, however, a deliberate gap in their current global map, the United States. Geely is taking a cautious approach to the American market. They are navigating 100% tariffs on Chinese-made EVs and intense regulatory scrutiny regarding connected car data. Rather than forcing a launch, They have frozen their North American logistics, choosing to observe the market through the 2029 political cycle before committing to a full-scale entry. This strategy is dismantling the traditional borders that once protected legacy automakers. Competition is no longer restricted by geography, but by the ability to keep pace with rapid hardware iteration. The industry has entered a period where historical longevity is no longer a guarantee of survival. Success now depends entirely on maintaining a lead in the structural and digital technologies that are redefining the car.